You guys want to know why I married a Barbie? Stay tuned and find out. Like, subscribe, and comment. You see me today? You see a guy who lost almost 100 pounds. You see someone who has completed two 5Ks. You see someone who is a half marathon finisher. You see a husband, a father, and a man of faith. You also see somebody who gets up every single day and says, keep walking. But what you don't see is a little boy who felt like nobody wanted him. You don't see the kid who was bullied at school and struggled at home. You don't see the kid who wanted somebody to love him, hug him, caress him, hold him. You see somebody who once married a Barbie. And then my sisters threw her away. I cried my heart out. Yes, it sounds funny. It sounds made up. But my sisters married me to a Barbie. And I felt attached to her. And that's where the story begins. Growing up wasn't easy for me. My dad remarried. My birth mom abandoned me. It was just me and my sister, and there was abuse at the house. My dad was an alcoholic. Um, my stepmom was Hispanic, so she was very everything that you did, you deserved to be hit. So there was abuse at my house. There was bullying at school. I wasn't loved by my sisters. I felt misunderstood by them. I struggled to understand where I belonged. Uh, my cousins who I grew up with moved far away, and I didn't have any kids my age around me that I could hang out, go out and play. And loneliness does something to you when you're a kid. You start wondering, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why doesn't anybody love me? Why can't I just be like everybody else? I wanted a connection. I wanted somebody that I could talk to and that I felt mattered to. That's why the story about the Barbie means so much more to me today than it did back then. I wasn't just a kid pretending to play or to be married. I think that little boy was creating the love and companionship that he desperately needed. And in my mind, knowing what marriage was, that Barbie became that connection, that safe space for me to confide in, to love, to everything. And I guess I took it too far. I was too in love with her that my sisters decided to throw her away. And I've never felt so lost and heartbroken back then. I never felt that way, and I was just so devastated because to them it was just a doll. To them, they saw me playing or they saw me as this weird little boy. But for me, that Barbie doll meant so much more to me than anything, and it felt like I lost somebody. Like I honestly lost somebody close to me. As I got older, loneliness didn't magically disappear. Um, After high school, I struggled. I got mixed up with the wrong crowd. And looking back, I understand why. When you spend so long being lonely, seeking companionship, seeking acceptance, when you get a little taste of it, even with the wrong crowd, you want more of it. So I was accepted by the wrong people. I made mistakes. I went down a road that I shouldn't have. There were doors that opened to me that led me to a place that I didn't want to go down or go through. But somewhere along the way, my life changed. In 2010, I met the most beautiful woman in the whole world, and she eventually would be my wife. I don't think she knew it at the time, just how much she would change me, how much she would mold me. I finally had something that I wanted for so long, something real, not a Barbie, something real, a real relationship. My wife at the time, she was just my girlfriend. She blessed me with 2 kids. She blessed me with a family. But becoming a husband, a father, something that I wanted, something that I needed, something that I craved, didn't erase anything. Didn't erase everything in my mind, in my heart, in my soul about loneliness. I still struggled. I smoked cigarettes. I was frustrated with everything. I was stressed. I carried anger, insecurity. I carried years of emotions I didn't know how to deal with. These were new emotions to me. Granted, the Barbie, but I was a kid. This is an adult me dealing with real life situations. And I just didn't know how to deal with it because I never had anybody to sit me down and told me, hey, this was what happens. XOXOX. You know what I'm saying? So I almost lost my wife. I almost lost my kids. That was one of the moments where I had to look inside of me. I had to look deep down inside of me and see if that's what I really wanted. If I was willing to let them go and start new life or fight for them. I told my wife in 2018 that if we get married, if she accepted my hand and she accepted my apologies for all the stupid stuff that I done, and we move to Utah, we'll start a new life, we'll start a new chapter in our lives, that I would eventually seek the church, Latter day Saints, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter day Saints. I told her, if you give me that chance, I will give you the opportunity to fulfill your dreams because her dream is to marry somebody from the church. And I didn't want that, but I didn't want to lose my family. So thankfully, she accepted. We got married in February 23rd, I'm sorry, 2018. And then we moved to Utah. Being in Utah, finding God, finding the gospel, accepting Jesus Christ in my life, um, at first was amazing. It felt great. But here's the thing, and people don't talk about this. Converts don't really talk about this. Um, Being part of the church does not change everything. Does not instantly erase your past. Does not erase your emotions, your feelings, your frustrations, your stress. It doesn't. Most of my life, I've had all of that built up inside of me, and I had no way of knowing how to release it. And part of me thought that joining the church was gonna erase it. But no, I still struggled mentally. I struggled who I was. And sometimes I felt an enormous pressure to be Christ like every single day. And then when I failed, I felt like a failure, like I failed my wife, my kids, God, Jesus, myself. I felt like I wasn't good enough. There were duties that I didn't always live up to. There were things that I could have done better. There were so many things I could have done better. There were days when my own thoughts were louder than my faith. My dark thoughts, my past, you know, I've I have more of those days than I've had the days of being part of the church. But eventually, I started understanding something. God wasn't asking me to be perfect. He wasn't asking me to change instantly. He was asking me to move forward day by day, one step at a time. And strangely enough, that's exactly what my weight loss journey would eventually teach me. Man, the day I started to choose me. For most of my life, my mind controlled how I felt. Fear, anger, loneliness, insecurity, food, frustration, feeling like I wasn't enough. But eventually, something changed. I started to choose me. Not once, not just once, not once a week, not once a day. Every single day, I started walking. Then I walked again, and I walked again. Some days were incredible. I felt so great. Some days sucked. Some days I wanted to quit. And then, guess what? I kept walking anyways. And now I've lost almost 100 pounds. I'm going to my 200th day of this weight loss journey. But here's the craziest thing, the weight isn't even the biggest thing I've lost. I started losing the belief that I can't do hard things. I started losing the belief that my past gets to decide my future. And I started losing the belief that I'm still the lonely little boy who nobody wanted. Because today, I'm somebody's husband. I'm somebody's dad. I'm a 2-time 5K finisher. I'm a half marathon finisher, 13.1 miles. 2 days after I walked 10 miles, I finished the half marathon. I'm a walker, but mostly I'm a fighter. I've always wondered why my journey couldn't be much easier. Why did I have to grow up the way I grew up? Why did I have to have an abusive father and an abusive stepmother? Why did I have to go through some things that I went through? And why did I have to struggle so much? Why couldn't I just wake up one morning and poof, have everything figured out? But maybe this journey wasn't meant to be easy. Maybe I needed the mountains, maybe I needed the obstacles, because every obstacle has shown me something truly amazing about myself. Things that I would have stopped doing if I was the old me. I'm learning how to hurdle over today. I couldn't have done that without God, without my wife, without my kids, and I couldn't have done that without finally deciding that my life was worth fighting for. That my life means something, not just to my family, but to me. The day I started realizing that I matter and I need to love myself first completely changed my life forever. I want to be real with you guys. If you're watching this and you're feeling alone, you feel like nobody understands you, if you made mistakes, if you hate the person that you see in the mirror, and if you feel like you've wasted all your life, you felt like you started to do something and then you fell down, it doesn't end. Your story isn't finished. You don't have to fix your life tomorrow. You don't have to run a marathon tomorrow. You don't even have to lose 100 pounds tomorrow. You don't have to be a different person tomorrow. It just takes one step. One step, guys. One step. One step forward in the right direction. Momentum. Building momentum. Taking that one step, then another, then another. That's exactly what I'm doing, guys. I'm not perfect. I'm still figuring things out. I'm still struggling. I'm still learning. I'm still becoming the man I believe God knows and wants me to be. But there's one thing I know that I can do and that I can control. I'm going to keep walking every single day. And if I ever fall down, guess what? I'm past 200 days. I'm way past this giving up phase. Giving up is not an option anymore. I'm not even doing this for my family. I'm doing this for me. I struggled all my life, guys. I've struggled all my life to find peace, love, compassion. I never gave that to myself. I've never once told myself I love myself. I've always told myself that I hated myself, that I'm worthless, that I'm dumb. I'm never going to be anybody. Nobody's going to be proud of me. Every single day I looked in the mirror and I told myself that, guys. You guys don't know the struggles that you go through in your mind when you start getting into that mentality. It sucks. And there's days that I still do it. There's days that I didn't walk far enough. I didn't push myself far enough, and I get upset with myself. That's the falling part. That's the falling down part. But guess what? I'm here. I'm making this video. I'm showing you guys the vulnerability, how vulnerable I can be. You guys can do this if you just take that one step, guys. As you know, my name is Ezra. This is Ezra Keeps Walking. This channel isn't about pretending that my life is perfect or that life is perfect. I'm going to talk about the weight, the workouts, the victories, the failure of my childhood, my marriage, fatherhood, faith, mental battles, and the things I never really talked about publicly. Like not a lot of people know about the Barbie. Not a lot of people. Now you and who knows how many other people know about the Barbie. I'm making this video. I'm I'm recording my journey. I'm showing you guys my side of the story because I know that somewhere out there there's somebody with my story, somebody with my struggle, somebody who is fighting the same battles that I fought when I was a kid and even now. There's somebody out there hoping and wanting to hear those words of encouragement. This is why I make my videos. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. They need to see somebody who hasn't figured everything out but refuses to quit. I'm not at the finish line, guys. The finish line is way, way out there. I'm not even close. Not even close. But I'm farther than when I started. I'm farther to where I started. I'm closer to the finish line than I am to the start. I'm a walker. I'm a fighter. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a child of God. And tomorrow, I'm going to choose myself again. One step at a time. One day at a time. One journey at a time. Still walking. Still fighting. And if you want to see where this journey takes me, walk with me. Like, comment, subscribe if you can. Share this out. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.